matchup, it was Team Execration who won T1 2-0. And it
Okay.
happens
Yeah.
around like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely at least a good sign as far as these teams are concerned. We'll see if they can repeat that or not. I think at that point T1 were maybe in a little shaky form. They also played. I think when they played and met in this BTS Pro Series, it was the 1-1 draw. So, I think a match where a lot of draws in the Pro Series. I was looking at the group stage results and I was like, oh, every single day it's like more draws than there are 2-0s because it's the best of 2 format. But it's nice now we're in best of 3, so we're guaranteed to have a winner.
Do you know that's one day that I cast in the phase number 2, I cast like 2 series of best of 2, and it all ends up with 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, and then people start saying, oh, okay, this is a 1-1 tournament, ladies and gentlemen. and then and then in my day 1 of phase 3, which is on the playoff, and all the match will be played in a best of 3. I cast 2 best of 3, so I thought, oh, it might be 2-0 or 2-1 something, and it ends up 2-1, 2-1. Man, this is madness because the team were so close to each other in terms of performance in 7.31B. It looks like so many teams have figured out what they want to play, what kind of the play style they want to go, and it's just reflected in a really intense, crazy team fight right from the start. And you look at these first 8 heroes from both sides, I can admit to you that they're going to fight right from minutes 5 or something.
Yeah. Like, all these heroes are early mid-game heroes. There's no, let's get some big late-game carry. Like, the Tiny carry, the TA, they kind of scale, but they're not these, like, passive heroes. Both Tiny and TA can fight in the mid-game. Tiny with his spell combo, TA just with, like, a couple of items, Blink Desto, whatever it may be. And then all the heroes around those carries are heroes that want to fight constantly. So no greed, it's all about the fighting.
Yeah, and that was interesting point, especially the rise of TA in this tournament. And we have seen TA being like #1 pick for so many teams that they didn't even care to play like position 2. They put it on position 1. I think the main reason that TA becomes so popular is she is so good when she playing against some tanky heroes like Medusa and all the stuff, and that's a lot of high HP heroes that is gaining popularity. So TA was just for that.
Yep. And I think just the way the patches change is that kills are being rewarded a bit more. So the kind of safe greedy farming is just not the way that you can play the patch, and that's something that I think a lot of SEA teams used to do a lot. Players like 23 Savage, Gabby when he was playing with T1 at regional finals. There's a lot of like, let's farm for late game kind of Dota. With that said, both teams could still be picking up carries here. We see bans on AM as well as Phantom Lancer. So Execration are like, they ban PL and they ban Crystal Maiden. It's like 2 completely different bans. They're like, they could pick a hard carry or they could pick a hard support.
Yeah, so hard to predict these days. So many games ended in the drafting table. Well, talking about the AM, I have seen the AM from Team Auga a couple of days ago, played by VT Faded, and I'm kind of surprised that AM didn't even go for the Battlefield first. Maybe this is a modern day AM going for the Vanguard or on something like that first. That's crazy, man. Vanguard and just go straight to Digital Blade because it's stacked on the mana burn, and it's just crazy. He used it against Medusa. Like 1 hit, he burned 120 mana. Only around 5 or 6 slashes, and then mana shield gone.
Yeah, just fighting. Even when you're picking a hero, you see Actimate, you're thinking, let's farm, let's play greedy, but even then, it's like, let's get Vanguard and fight. So, it does seem to be, at least to some extent, the way this patch is going to be played. Obviously, it's brand new. There's a lot of time for changes, adjustments, and learning, but curious to see how these teams approach it. They get last pick Kunkka. Usually it's the hero, old patch was getting first pick. Even still, I think we're seeing a lot of Kunkka picked up in the first phase. Like, I saw Boom Esports in the Dubai land. They were picking it up in the first phase still for Yopaj. It got, a couple of small nerfs, but it's, nothing, I think, too significant that completely changes the hero. So I think this hero is still very playable on the current patch. It's, more or less the same in a lot of ways.
All right. Okay, looks like, let me check on the overlays a bit. Okay. Yeah, all good.
Sure.
Yeah, nah. Ooh, take a look at these heroes. Definitely, I think that they're gonna fight right from the start. It would be so dangerous in lanes, side lanes, mid lanes is also important. Well, if you ask me who am I prefer in this kind of lineup, I would go for Execration for all these easy to execute hero, I would say. And
Yeah.
what about you? Which side do you prefer for the lineup?
I agree with you. I think Execration's draft looks more simple. Like they're gonna have this Beastmaster in the off lane to just like buff them up with auras, get the Helm of the Dominator to push with, and Lifestealer and TA are two carries that really benefit from that. I think Lifestealer is like this carry that you doesn't really carry games alone, so picking it with the TA feels really solid. With that all said, at the same time, I think T1's probably should be the better team. They haven't gone through any roster changes. Well, they brought in Gabby, but they played with him already at a big tournament in the regional finals. So in some ways, I still think it's going to be a close game, just because of how good T1 are.
Yes, true. That's true. Oh, I still kinda, it still stick at the back of my nerve that Team T1 lost to Execration like a couple weeks ago, like 0-2 when they were on that peak form.
Yeah.
So let's take a look if Execration can strike that kind of results again. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the first game of the series. This is Elimination Series. Keep in mind, T1 is on the Radiant side. We have Cuckoo on Sand King, Carl on Tiny, and White Mon on Day Prophet, Gabby, Kunkka, Zephyr on Hoodwink. Gonna leave the Execration side to you.
Execration, we have Vincenzo playing Bane, Bob playing TA, Tino playing Beastmaster, Shanks playing Shadow Demon, and Palos playing the carry Lifestealer.
Oh, okay, Palos. Palos. I would say that he is always the center of attentions of everyone in the chat. He was like, he's kind of the fancy carries. Like on the day that he is on, then he was like a superstar. But there was some check-in day of him as well. So let's see if he can bring the spotlight on this one, because wow, a couple of days ago he was so strong, man.
Yeah, I think during DPC League with Execration, he was definitely one of the standout players, I think. I think some of the players who are underperforming are no longer with the team. So it's good to see this new Execration team bringing in Tino to play off lane, even though he's a carry player. I think Tino's just very talented and skilled. He's high MMR, so I think he's going to be able to adjust to playing off lane just fine.
Yeah. Well, I can't hardly wait to see them get into the lane to see who is going to win the laning phase, because it's really important for setting up the mid game nicely.
Yeah. But I like all the ult chat going on. These teams are already like trying to get in each other's head. Cuckoo stole the bounty rune and was ult chatting the enemy, saying they have slow hands. So, they're not afraid to dish it out when it comes to some ult chat.
Alright, nice. I am looking at the top lane at the moment. Seems to be a very aggressive lane here, man.
Yeah, I think, Sand King Hoodwink, a lot of kill potential. Bane Lifestealer less so. I think the Bane's job is just going to be to try and secure the Lifestealer's farm, try and zone out the supports. But definitely Sand King Hoodwink, they want to try find some kills if they can.
My apologies.
I'm trying to searching out. Oh, at bottom lane, they almost got that White Mon. He was so low. Back to the top. There are so many potentials in the kills on the side lanes. I think in the middle lane it's going to be like pretty peaceful, farming each other right now. But on top, I like you mentioned just now, that who's been doing such a great job is trying to zone the Vincenzo away from harassing Cuckoo.
Yeah. So far, I've seen Zephyr just use the Acorn Shot well to secure the last hits, but also get harassed at the same time. So just very efficient. Bottom lane, meanwhile, Tino.
Oh, that's going to be a first blood, yeah. Tino.
First blood. And
I got that one, but at very last moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
It counts. Still counts.
Yeah, still counts. Okay. Yeah, that was a good clean first blood. It looks like T1 starting the game quite well. It's been a while since I see people playing that Kunkka as a position 1 in safe lane.
Yeah, it was very popular for a while, but then it kind of, I think, fell off a bit, and most people were just seeing the mid Kunkka for a while. But perhaps it was picked a lot against Beastmaster, which is what we're seeing here, just because it's one of the better heroes to play against Beastmaster. I think the 2 best have been the Phantom Assassin and Kunkka. They both have good ways to kill the boar. If you can't kill that boar, the lane's really hard. And it's just a hero that you can defend the tower with, whereas Beastmaster usually can push that offlane tower really early. Kunkka can do a good job defending it.
Oh man, I am looking at the top and also bottom at the same time because top lane Palos getting harassed a lot as well by Cuckoo and Zephyr. Looks like Vincenzo is cannot help that much when it's come to, you know, babysitting his hard carry.
Yeah.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
I thought this lane would go better. I mean, Lifesteal's doing just fine, I guess, in terms of his CS, but it does feel like he's constantly being harassed, and Bane's just trying to, like, do some pulls and isn't able to help all too much. Most surprisingly to me, perhaps, is mid lane, where there's not going to be any kills, but Carl is winning the lane. This Tiny, 14 last hits, 7 denies. TA is getting beat down badly.
Oh my.
Bottom though, they're going on Shadow Demon.
Yeah, getting gone on for a second time, I think, this one. Can he just run away? Still stuck in the torrents, and also Spirit Siphon on top of it. Slash him down quite easy by Gappy. That is the 2 kills already on the bottom lane. You think it's already crisis for Team Execration?
I think it's okay. Beastmaster is a hero who often has this kind of weak laning stage, but the problem is sometimes you have a weak lane stage, but you come back with your helm. I think Kunkka's just a good hero to shut down what Beastmaster wants to do, so not sure if this lane is going to get any easier anytime soon. But yeah, not crisis mode just yet.
Yeah. Alright, man. I think Beastmaster, I think he might have to just stay low and try and get as fast as he can. Just like you say, trying to collect some money, get a hang, and just to catching up later without a pushing strat on the tower, and then yeah.
Yep. Good job from T1. They make sure they get all the runes. They deny Bob, the TA, from getting one by having the support rotation. So because bot lane's going well, it meant White One could rotate to secure runes.
True.
This just means Tiny mid is just going to have a better time because he is starting to get harassed. At this point, the TA starts to hit pretty hard. Level 3 Refraction with a Blightstone. Tiny's just like a low armor hero, so as well as Carl is doing, this lane can be a bit tricky. We're seeing it actually pretty even now because the advantage is swinging back the TA's way.
Yeah, to do with the TA, I think they need some help from support as well in order to just put a deep ward inside the triangle and stop them from, you know, stacking. And wait, I am looking at the fight on top. They are trying to, you know, pulling the creep back in. And Palos was hit by a couple of bursts, right? But he's still fine.
Both sides have some regen, so they'll heal up.
Yeah.
Bottom lane now, Tino.
Yeah, almost get body blocked just now for Tino. But I think that would be, is that to be? No, that was so close. Disruption comes out, and Chang showing up in the lane. Nothing much going on here. Almost got that Beastmaster.
Yeah, he tried to cleave him with the Tidebringer. I think if he hit it, he would have got the kill, but Tino was in fog, so Gabby had to guess where he would be, and he just guessed wrong.
Alright, creep wave pushing up to the top lanes. They might try to find some angle to just go in that Palos. Man, lane looking very hard for execrations. Except in the middle lane, that it seems to be a draw lane between two.
Yeah. the all chat continues saying stuff. I love how they're just, you know, going at each other.
That's true.
This is like a pub game. It feels like in some ways with the way that some of the players are treating it. But you wouldn't know, this is an elimination game here. Whoever loses, this is not that BTS Pro Series where they are all chatting like it's, you know, they're good friends.
There are so many moments like this in BTS Pro Series Southeast Asia. It's just like players are knowing each other so well, and And you know, it comes up with some interesting moments, all chats and stuff, which is, you know, interesting.
Oh, this is cool. T1, Gabby on the Kunkka is coming in to steal the jungle stack. I think it was like a triple stack. And the Kunkka, I mean, that's a great hero to steal enemy jungle with. So Gabby gets level 6 from it as well.
Yeah, they put up the great deep observer wards inside, and they time it so well, pushing the creep wave in the lane and just, you know, go to the left-hand side, trying to steal, and now they got a gank as well. X-Mount spot back in Torrent.
Ooh,
nice save for
nice
disruption to dodge him from the gold ship, so I think they're all gonna be fine.
Yeah, Shank shows up at the right time to save his life. That would have been a certain kill if they pulled him back for the ghost ship. So, they've done it a couple times where the disruption savers help bail them out, but at the same time, when they get the kills, it's because like he disrupted and Kunkka predicted it, so he actually held onto the torrent and used the disruption as a setup. So it's a nice little kind of mind game back and forth about should you disrupt or not.
I mean, that's the reason why this hero getting picked so many times, and the Child Demon is actually the top pick in terms of support. But surprisingly, that Child Demon only have around a 40% win rate in our tournament.
Oh, yeah, that's not great.
Yeah.
Alright. I feel like Shadow Demons looked okay. Like, the laning stage is just so strong with the Shadow Poison, but... and also just, you always want to have these supports with saves, which Shadow Demon is one of the few. Mid lane, meanwhile.
Yeah, Avalanche and a toss. Tossing Shadow Demon's in, and, sorry, not Shadow Demon, that is Bob, the Templar Assassin. Yeah. That's a big kill, man, T1.
Yeah. They played it so well, like, perfect Ava with the tosses back, and then they root him underneath the tower. Like, even with the refraction up, he still goes down. It was just so well executed from T1.
Yeah. I think one problem of having a Charlie Demon or playing Charlie Demon in a team, especially in the BTS Pro Series this season, is the rise of all the high mobilities.
Bottom lane, by the way.
Bottom lane, X-Mount spot, Torrent shooting in, gold ship, killing spree already for Gabby. You know, he's trying to run away. Oh my. Top lane also happening some fight. Avalanche and the toss. Carl go to side lane for the first time and finish off the target. Left and right, man. Almost at the same time.
Tiny getting buffs. This here is looking good.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you say, just action all over. I mean, this is perhaps a new patch, or at least how T1 want to play it. They want to be just fighting non-stop. And
ooh, and that is actually the second time that it's stealing stack. That's a big stack as well, with 2 neutral creeps items drop. Oh, cray, man.
Yep, all the neutrals at once. And that's the thing, they're getting these kills, but it's not like they're just getting kills, but they're using it to invade the enemy jungle. They already took the triple stack down bottom, now they're invading the enemy jungle at top. There's some double stacks up there. They're just out farming and out killing their opponents, like using the strength of this early game Kunkka. Not just Kunkka, but Kunkka, Tiny, and even the Sand King now, who's going to have a Blink Dagger up so soon. This is so problematic for Execration.
I love to see when Cuckoo picking some attacking heroes. He playing quite well and super aggressive, you know, and I kind of don't like when he played that Doom.
He's really good,
not,
but...
Yeah, it's not that the result of his Doom not good. It was good, but it's kind of boring, you know. But when you get to see him play some aggressive heroes like Sand King, it's just like, oh man, this is a gift.
Yeah, and I think it's... When T1, they've kind of struggled a bit recently, and when I say struggled, I mean more on their standards. Like, they've been getting, like, you know, second, third place in DPC, second place in regional finals, but, you know, they're a team that wants to be winning SCA. I think the games they're losing to, like, Boom and Fnatic at times, it's because they play too greedy, and Cuckoo, as an offlaner, I think is hero pool a bit too greedy, like, he's playing offlane, a lot of offlane Doom. He's playing these heroes that just want to farm. He even played offlane Wraith King. Like, that hero's, like, no other team is playing it offlane. They're only playing it carry. So I think seeing him going back to these, you know, typical offlane heroes like Sand King, like, you can be greedy, but when it comes to, like, the mid game, you have a blink stun, you have more team fight. Like, you can't just, you're not just trying to take farm off the map. So I think this is a much better way for T1 to play Dota in general.
Do you think we'll get to see some game Cuckoo on Batrider offlane?
I imagine so. I think it's one of his best heroes, so I'd be surprised if not. It is I think the hero as a whole has become a bit greedier. It's almost like a better mid laner than off laner. At least that's kind of how it felt in the last patch. I'm not so sure anymore. But I think for Cuckoo, that's a hero that does suit his
Radiant's
playstyle
top
a
tower
lot.
is under attack.
Yeah, I remember back there on TNC, they played a lot of the Bat Rider, and we were like, oh man, Bat Rider by Cuckoo, so strong.
Yeah.
I mean, he can kill anyone at level 2, and then after that, he snowballs so bad. Man, unfortunately, we never see him like that on that Bat Rider again.
As far as this game goes, the Sand King is, you know, he hasn't been super active. He's got this Blink Dagger and just kept farming.
Oh.
Now, though, he's ready to smoke up.
Yeah, level 9 as well. Level 3 on the burst, right? And also level 4 on the Sandstorm. Gonna do for the first time, landing perfect. And then follow up with the burst strike, Acorn shot, everything. Avalanche in the toss, great setup by Cuckoo. Showing aggression, twerking, Execration. And now here we go with the Exorcism, trying to take down the mid-tier tower. That is very important tower. And now side 4 is getting hot as well. Team Execration, X-Mount, Spawn Torrent, hit by the ghost ship. They get that the Templars is in for the second time in this game. And they want to go for more. Why Mon, the support, Dave Prophet's running for his life, getting gone on by Palos. Okay, at least they got some. Oh, he's getting tipped as well.
I mean, good news for Execration. They got their first kill, but it is 7-1.
Yeah.
We've reached the Brazil score. It is T1 who are... They're doing good. They do defend the mid-tier 1 tower. I think that's the important thing. I think for T1, they wanted to make that move around the mid lane to try and get the mid tower. So keeping that tower alive is nice, but they're not done. Carl and Zephyr find another kill.
Wow. Just one set of combo. Avalanche toss and hit for the tree. Easy kill. And this is one successful thing that T1 doing so good in this game is to stealing stacks, you know, maybe because of the timing of play and also positioning of the deep ward. Not getting dewarded any, and yeah, I think they count this stealing stacks becoming one of the biggest winning conditions for Team T1. So really prioritize that.
It feels like Execration is just like trying to be too passive with their farming. Like Lifesteal TA, I think worked on like some of the older, like slower patches, but right now we're seeing a T1 team that's playing super fast pace.
True. And now they're fighting at a triangle again, but this time around getting killed by Bob.
Yeah. Too many heroes come in. He was trying to defend there. They had a nice observer wood on the cliff that he wanted to defend, but then Execration brought like 3-4 heroes. But at the same time, T1 is like farming more on the map, so even though he dies there, T1 are just outbreeding them.
Look at that Gappy with the Fruits of Travel and also Armor the Body and within 15 minutes, and he's on the way straight to the damage for the Fidelis and also Simulate. Let's take a look at this one. He's getting triple teamed by Palos, by everyone, saved by Cuckoo, Burst Strike, and trying to land the epicenter, but it looks like it's all reached. Oh, Avalanche on the toss, Carl showing up in the scene, and now he kills this trade. Next one's gonna be Palos, or maybe they can catch them all. It's gonna be 3 in total, adding up to the dead toe. Oh my.
An initial whiff by, I think, T1 when they initiated in, Cuckoo not hitting anyone in the Fire Strike, but they had to commit everything to kill Kunkka, which meant Lifesteal didn't have Rage anymore. There was no Roar to play around. Shadow Demon didn't have Demonic Purge. So when they show up with Blink Daggers, and, you know, they can get there so fast because of these Blinks, the fight goes so well. So even though they lose Kunkka, T1 do a great job punching.
Yeah. Dire's middle tower is
and again, it's gonna be even worse for Execration if they lose this mid-tier 1 tower, which they already did. Because the route into the triangle will be more safe for Team T1. There will be more smoke cut through. So they need to be careful, especially for Bob and Lifestealer, that still need a lot of farm in order to catch up the course of Team T1.
Well, I mean, for T1, yeah, even though Kunkka goes down there, it doesn't really feel like they lose a whole lot. They're back farming their jungles, they're taking all these towers, so... Paulus is trying to do what he can with his lifesteal. He's got Armlet and as well as a Sand coming out, but his damage, you know, it's still a bit lacking with these items. It's going to take at least one more item before he dishes out some damage. I mean, he's got the Beastmaster Aura, he's got maybe some minus armor from the TA with the Meld and the Deso, which can help him out, but it does feel like it may not be enough.
And one Another threat for Team Execration is that Zephyr with his ultimate, the sharpshooter can add a lot of nuke damage to finish off the gank.
Radiant's bottom
Okay,
tower is
looks
under
like some
attack.
big fight gonna happen at the bottom lane. Going in first. Oh, setting up nicely by that Cuckoo Burst right on two, and then follow up with Avalanche and Toss. Oh, come on, man. Execration, they seem a little bit powerless, like you mentioned just now. Like, they're playing it too passive, while T1 is just keep on attacking, and doing just fine by that Cuckoo.
Yeah. Cuckoo Sanking. It's been one of his best heroes this tournament. The last 2 games he played just in the past week, he won with it, and this is looking like it could be a 3rd in a row.
Yeah.
Maybe finding a hero on the new patch that really suits him, combining with Carl in this Tiny, going for the fast Blink Dagger. He goes back for the Midas so he can still be this like late game threat, but early on he's just fighting with the Blink Dagger. He's been involved in 10 kills already. 5-0-5.
Oh dear.
Tiny. Fantastic.
Oh, you better look at that. He has his epicenter ready, just waiting for someone to show up. And it's gonna be poor Bob, it seems. Landing epicenter burst right, and then finishing up with the sharpshooter. It seems like there is no space for Execration in the map at all to farm a Cuckoo. Waiting for his cooldown, the burst strike. Avalanche already comes out on the Beastmaster. Burst strike inside, half HP.
Oh, they got the crit.
Let's throw some Centaur in. It looks like Chang is trying to save his teammates with the disruption. Once he comes out the disruption, Primal Roar dropped. And then that's going to be a kill back on Execration side.
Yeah.
Dire's
Nice,
bottom tower
you know,
is under
good chunk of
attack.
change, 600 gold going their way for the kill on the Sand King. But it did cost them a lot of ultimates. You know, they had to use Roar as well as Grip. So I mean, T1 would be like, okay, we lost Cuckoo, but we're going to stay on the enemy side of the map. We're going to look to keep fighting. They've still got Exorcism. They probably still want to either take a fight. Oh my gosh. Zephyr gets a solo kill. He had vision of Beastmaster and just kills him jungling.
Hey Goss, so what do you think about the comeback mechanics for this 7.31B? Do you think it's still powerful?
You know, it's still there. It's not like this, but it's not like what it was. I don't know. I can't remember. There was one big comeback mechanic patch where like you'd get 1 kill, you're down like 3,000 gold, you get a kill, and suddenly you get like over 1,000 gold, and it's like, wait, what?
Dire's top
And you
tower
just
is under
teams would
attack.
just pick Spectre every game because the
Yeah,
comeback
I
mode was
remember
so
that
insane.
patch, man.
It feels like, you know, you can come back, particularly if you're getting kills. Like, I think the way to come back, it's the same as always, where you got to fight and get kills. You can't just try. There's no coming back by farming. The comeback mechanic is always killing enemy carries and getting a lot of
Radiant's middle
gold,
tower is
ending
under
enemy
attack.
streaks. You get a bit more gold from kills as opposed to experience now, which I think helps the comeback a little bit more than it used to.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Alright, looks like they're gonna do some surprise attack. I kinda like this decision making from Team Execration. It's kind of brave, and it's gonna work. But that's all they get. It's one support, and they might get countered here because the rest of Team T1 already grouping up. Even though T1 got 4 guys, I believe 100% they're gonna contest this Roshan fight.
Yeah. They don't have any good way to get vision, and this Roche is dying really fast.
Oh yeah.
They gotta go soon.
Up HP. I think somebody needs to go in. I am looking at Cuckoo at the moment. He's trying to find some angle to just jump in, landing a perfect empty center, picking up already. Oh, do you think that's a little bit of mistake for Team T1?
A little bit, but it's like a forced mistake where Execration did a really good job de-warding around Roshan. So T1 had no vision. They also got that ward on the enemy high ground, so they had wards at T1 Ancient, so they could see everything. I think because Execration have all the vision heroes, they have summons, they have Beastmaster Hawk, you know, they had good wards down, and T1 had no way to scout it out. Usually the way they'd scout it out is Death Prophet as a support would just run in, but Death Prophet was dead, so I think it was just a really smart move from Execration, above all else. Like, yeah, you smoke gank and kill a support, it's not the best kill. They wanted to kill an enemy carry hero, but they turned it into Roshan regardless, so I think really good play from Execration, even though they're losing right now.
Oh, and now that's a whole team smoke. They go in. I'm not pretty sure is that a blind burst strike or not, but however, it's just connected to the target. And the first one who falls is going to be Chang's. They're trying to get one more guy. Yes, they can. Double kill for that power.
Radiant structures are fortified.
All right.
Ooh. Yeah, it's T1 strength now. They can just... it feels like they're always ready to fight and run at heroes. They're so farmed. Gabby's not done. They go bottom now.
Yeah. Trying to go for more and some gold shift.
No
That was so
BKB.
powerful. But however, Bob is still on the HS. He's waiting for his support. But where is the support? He would be welcome with the epicenter. Didn't even have to use a bird strike.
No. Oh, White one's still charging forward. They may catch somebody. No, he's alone. But they kill 2 mid. They kill the TA. TA had Aegis, so they just take out the Aegis and kill her a second time.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah, that is gone for oh, that was wow. That's a checking inside the perch. And right, trying to save the disruption. And Tino interrupted that with a primal roar. White Mon in the middle of everything. He got shot down by the tower. A little bit too aggressive, I would say. You know, diving in to the tower tier 2 like that.
It was cool bait. Like the lifesteal was intentionally underneath the ward. Even though he's in the trees there, he knows that the Radiant can have a ward probably on that hill. So he's like baiting, knowing that the Bane is going to save him with a Nightmare. So, you know, Execration, they're losing this game and it's not looking good. But plays like that, you know, give me hope that they can maybe turn it around. It also shows that they're still thinking. They're like, okay, what can we do to win this game? Like, what kind of cool moves can we make? Not just a cool move, like really smart and just something that theoretically could have led to them getting bigger kills. They almost killed Gabby's Kunkka. If they killed Gabby there, that would have been a huge turnaround. Luckily for Gabby, he survived the Fiend's Grip and then BKB TP'd home, but just very heads-up play from Execration to bait them in like that.
Looks like one of the most important skills of Team Execration at the moment is disruption from Chang's. Saves so many lives. And also, you know, buying some time for the rest of Team Execration to just counter with another spell. So, I kind of happy with the optimizations of that Shadow Demon that he went for the Ether Lens first in order to be safe in the team fight, so he can be like super far back and saving his teammates. And look at that, man. Hey, 4-man smoking in and looking to make something up. Oh, Bob turned to BKB already. Is he gonna be ready for the next fight for that Bob? But hey, Pylos gonna go in first. He would be safe from the rage. But it looks like hesitation from both sides, so the fight just not happen.
Yeah, I think once TA BKB was used, Execration decide, you know, if we fight them, our TA is missing 4,000 gold at that point. Like she, without BKB, she just isn't really able to do a whole lot.
I think it's gonna be T1 instead to strike on Team Execration right here.
Yeah. Execration seem ready for it. They're camping their high ground, knowing that they can pop the smoke and then maybe win the fight with the high ground advantage.
Yeah. They popped up the smoke on high ground, but how are they gonna open with the Primal Roar? It seems like that is the only opening spell for the Execration.
They want to kill this Ancient here in the mid lane. They killed the Beastmaster's Helm Creep. That's a good chunk of gold.
Still waiting, not so far away from each other from both sides. I think at this point, the victory of the next big team fight is going to be determined by who initiates first and who initiate better.
Yeah, for sure. I think making sure you get your BKBs off this game, and there's so many stuns I feel like on both sides, particularly on Radiant, but like Dire have, you know, the Bane Fiend's Grip, which can go through BKB as well as, so they've got the BKB piecing stunts with Roar and Grip.
Alright. 18-6 game score. They are getting closer and closer to each other. Execration, however, split out into 2 groups. One of them is pushing top. Bob about to get top tier 1 tower finally. And the bottom lane, tier 1 put a lot of pressures on the bottom tier 2 tower of Team Execration with a lot of teleportations going on.
Got grip.
And it's time with the grip first, and nice one, Cuckoo finding the gripper inside the tree line. He's gonna land a epicenter. What a great play by Cuckoo to clear all the back line of Team Execration. Now is the job is down to the front liners of Team T1 just to charge ahead. Next one gonna be Pylos being stopped by the burst, right? Pylos was stuck in a sprint siphon as well. Avalanche and a toss hit him instantly, got attacked by that Carl. Still looking pretty strong for Pylos, and Carl just needs to teleport away. He knows that it already hit his limit. Bob is moving in, looking to clear all the stuff. But nope, it looks like they break it off.
Oh, here, Cuckoo was a hero that fight, finding the Fiend's Grip. If they don't cancel that Fiend's Grip right away, that things can go pretty south for them. But he just goes in, gets both supports, kills them basically single-handedly. Like, as a off-laner, killing both enemy supports, canceling a Fiend's Grip, like, that is job well done. He's already done more than you know, asked of him.
Yes. What a play. Yeah, and that was definitely well planned by Cuckoo as well. I think he might command his teammate, hey, you go in first. If you got caught in a fiend grip or something, I'm just gonna go in and help you. Just trust me on that.
Like we see Cuckoo playing with the Ag Shard on Sand King. It's definitely a fun one. I don't know. It's hard to rate. Like as far as Ag Shards go, I think it's decent. I mean, anything with more damage output, sure, why not? Definitely something it feels fun to use.
The perfect epicenter is always well appreciated by Dota fans around the world since Dota 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have seen.
It used to be like the biggest ultimate in Dota. Well, at least it used to be like similar to Echo Slam, but nowadays, you know, over the last like I think 5 or 6 years, it's one of these ultimates that just hasn't felt very strong.
Oh, nice save with a 4-star, but I don't think Gabby is still in the danger right here. He got into a tree line, I turned the BKB and just gonna teleport away. T1, that was a nice getaway by Team T1. Maybe a little bit of regeneration and he'll be back in the fight again. It was so close. I mean, if they lost Gabby just now, I think a couple more days it's gonna be up on T1 too.
You can see there, even with the BKB, he's still like, you know, he died pretty fast. He had to BKB TP, or he was close to dying. TA and Lifestealer, they're hitting harder and harder, even with Lifestealer not going for any damage items. I think Palace has gone for a good item build here with the Scotty.
Oh, yeah.
Having that slow is really nice, but he needs that next damage item to really be able to finish off some of these heroes.
Yeah, you just need to be the most, I mean, as much as sustained as he can for his teammate, and staying in the front line. The main damage dealer is actually a Templar's Ascene.
Yep, exactly.
Alright.
See, Execration, they're holding on, you know. Things continue to, you know, haven't looked the best for them, but the fact they won that fight around Roshan, took the first Aegis was really nice, even if they didn't get anything out of the Aegis. Just has kind of kept them in the game and made it so that they're not falling too far behind.
Wow, what a brave Carlos walking to the high ground just like that. Yeah, he must be very confident with all his total armor because of the Arm Scotties and the Arm Mortigian. Alright, but well, really, Carlos? Your teammates were so far away, you know, Avalanche, and okay, he's gonna get hit by a toss as well. Chance, get into that Chance smartless spot. Is he gonna do the disruption on himself? Yes. It looks like Gabby was waiting for that, jumping in. No. A little bit too greedy for Palos at the moment, if you ask me, and now he's dropping quite low. Palos is all but moving into the BKB and now trying to clean everything up. Yes, he can. Gabby seems to be the highest net worth in the game, but being brought down quite easy by Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, every fight it feels like Gabby's just not doing a whole lot with his farm. I feel like 2 fights in a row he just BKB'd and TP'd out, and this fight he dies. He melts to the physical damage. The Beastmaster buffing up the TA with all this attack speed from the aura as well as the drums has just looked really nice in these fights. And then you've got Fiend's Grip and Roar, 2 disables that go through BKB. This Kunkka BKB is, I don't know, what's it actually for is kind of, I think, a good question. Like, there's not many things that the BKB helps against this game. It almost feels like an item that he probably shouldn't have gone. Like, just going for more survivability, this AC, maybe even a Halberd this game could be nice for some disarm.
And the dodge.
His item build this game just feels like it didn't suit what he's up against. And Execration doing a good job punishing it.
Yeah, and Templar is getting stronger and stronger, and they even got more confident to get around the Roshan pit. They know they are quite stronger. Now, I think winning this team fight for Execration, it's just all about the how TA gonna find angle to go in. Alright, turn on the drum, everything. They already got into the Roshan pit. Sharpshooting first, trying to scare Team Execration away, but I don't think that's gonna move them.
Nope. I mean, once he uses it on cooldown, so they don't have it for a team fight, and Execration don't get scared off. With Kunkka dead, they take Roche number 2. Oh, that is really nice for them.
Yeah. Even though the game seems to be like so far behind right from the start from Execration, but one weird thing is they get both of the Aegis.
Yep. At this point, this game, I think, is kind of even. Like, we're seeing how much Gabby's struggling in these fights to do damage, and I think we're seeing Execration's carries just really scale well. Like, I think we said at the start, we like their draft. There's a lot of synergy with the Beastmaster buffing up 2 physical damage cores and Lifestealer and TA. And I don't really feel like the T1 is itemized well for all this physical damage. And they just don't have good heroes to deal with it. They're trying to. Like, Cuckoo's gone for a Shiva's Guard on his Sand King. Like, at this point, everyone needs to go for, like, armor items or evasion or disarm, like halberds. Because all the damage is physical.
Oh, man, and it's just out of nowhere. I feel like tiny itemization is just stopped. For in the past 5 minutes, he's stuck at the same place. He used to be like a stronger in the first 15 minutes of the game. But right now, not anymore, Carl. And that's gonna be a big smoke coming out from the Execration side.
Like my trees to myself.
Find their luck around the middle area, where T1 grouping up at a radiant triangle. But they might fight each other down the river.
Dire's top
Trying to
tower
bait the
is
rune.
under attack.
Yeah. Oh, being quick first, and then releasing the life stealer. That's a decent damage. It's almost killed that Kubu. If Kubu goes down without doing the barrel swipe, that's gonna be disaster. The rest of Team T1 just need to go back to the base as soon as possible. But oh no, Bob is here already arriving at the scene. Start attacking on the Tiny. Where you gonna go? Get stabbed, bro. Get stabbed. Oh my dear, no more buyback for T1 side. 2 cores down. Execration holding on the edges and about to take to high ground.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, they have Aegis. Like, they win that fight Aegis or no Aegis. They're just outplaying T1 right now.
Yeah.
They found another pickoff maybe. Okay, he's gonna scurry out of there, but...
Yeah. Oh, they're diving into the TFL. You need to be careful, man. You're not that strong yet. Maybe just try and go back and get the objective. Gonna be at least 1 set Brax. Maybe
And they kill Zephyr. The meld strikes chased after him even after the force stuff away.
Oh, Chang seems to buy back in order to save the game right here because it looks like they want to end the game immediately. Turn on the exorcism for Whitemon. That's not gonna help that much. Gabby gets in, but when it comes to toe-to-toe fight, it seems to be a little bit disadvantage when it comes to fighting Carlos and also Bob the TA. And the life stealer is just wrecking him. Gabby is out with no buyback. Just go straight for the throne. And that's it. Game 1. Ladies and gentlemen, belongs to Team Execration.
Oh my gosh, that was quite the comeback. And I don't want to, like, if anything, like, I think this highlights, it was a comeback of sorts. Like, they were down, like, maybe 7,000-8,000 gold, but it wasn't, like, an insane comeback. Their draft was always super solid. And as a team, they just played so well. The fact that both their supports could save their carries, it meant that Palos could, like, play really aggressive in the front lines. And Bob was just being ignored in the fights. Like, he died 4 times, but it felt like all his deaths were in the early game. After the early game, in every single team fight, he was just owning. They're down over 10 kills, and they just win the game. That's so impressive from Execration.
Yeah, I think this part of this thing is because they're gaining a lot of confidence after that recent victory against Team T1. I think the team getting into this game, even though they completely losing in the early game, but they feels like, hey man, chill, just chill. We beat it before on the last time. We're gonna do it again, and they actually did it. Wow, what a great performance for Execration in game number 1. But the series is still too long, I believe. I don't know, we might get to see a 3-game series, but who knows. We're gonna take a break for a few minutes and we will be right back for game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned.